What's up, sports bettors? I got a bunch of player props for Heat Celtics, and honestly, we may have two sweeps in the conference finals. So you can see the market is actually pricing. Every single sportsbook has the Heat favored to win Game 4. So they initially went up to minus 126. You can just pull up a little line movement chart on OddsJam, but lines have been moving a bit back towards the Celtics. So the Heat have moved within the last 17 hours from minus 126 to minus 111. So the market is taking betting lines towards the Celtics just by a little. But regardless, I have a bunch of player props for you for Game 4 of Heat Celtics. Hopefully the Celtics can win, keep it interesting, but we'll see. So my first pick is right here. It's from the sportsbook screen. So you just go to sportsbook screen. In this betting tool, it's really simple, right? All it does is it reads in lines and odds from across the entire market. So you get hundreds of sportsbooks, real-time odds, directly on this betting tool. So just sportsbook screen. And basically as a sharp bettor, you use this as your Bloomberg terminal, right? So I'm currently looking at NBA player rebounds, but you can look at whatever market you want. These sportsbooks have so many different markets that you can bet on, and you want to hunt for value, right? You want to hunt for discrepancies. So the first play I noticed that's actually really good, I'm excited about this one, is on Caleb Martin's rebound line. So if you take a look at the data, right, where are sportsbooks posting odds, you're going to see Underdog Fantasy, they have Martin at 4.5 rebounds, right? PrizePicks also has Caleb Martin at 4.5 rebounds. This platform called Parlay Play, they're asleep at the wheel. They have his line at 5. What are they doing? I don't know, but this is exactly what we're looking for as a sharp bettor, right? Because all of these books, they all want to set lines independently. We essentially have dozens of data points telling us where the line should be set. And then as a sharp bettor, we just hunt through the market and we look for value. And it's very clear here. You're actually going to see most sports books. So this OddsJam column, this OddsJam algo odds column, you can see it right here. This is just a weighted average from the market, right? So if you looked at every sports book and you removed the VIG, the Heat would be very small betting favorites, minus 108. So this is tracking every single sports book, hundreds of sports books throughout the betting market and kind of the average price. And you're going to notice for Martin, so now it's going to reload very briefly, but for Martin, so if we take a look, I'll zoom back in. Parlay Play has his line at 5. Most sports books actually have his under 4.5 rebounds as the favored outcome, right? So you're going to see FanDuel, they have his under 4.5 rebounds favored. So long story short, sportsbooks are at 4.5, and they have the under a little bit favored. You can see the average line on the under, removing the VIG, is a slight favorite at minus 102. FanDuel is pretty bullish on the under, right? They have the under all the way at minus 128. All the other fantasy sites, PrizePicks, Underdog, they have Martin's line at 4.5. Parlay Play, asleep at the wheel, setting his line at 5, right? Every data point, we literally have hundreds of data points telling us this line should be set at over under 4.5 rebounds. Parlay Play's at 5, they're too high, so we want to take the under, right? We found a discrepancy in where books are setting the lines, right? Parlay Play has a different line than these other fantasy sites like PrizePicks and Underdog, as well as the sports books like FanDuel. So that's the first play that I went with. And, I've explained this before, but in these videos, I'm not trying to do anything complicated. I'm literally just showing you where I'm finding value, where I'm finding an edge. So if I have more plays on, Underdog Fantasy, so I gave out this play, unfortunately, our last leg lost. But regardless, wherever I'm finding value, those are just the plays I'm giving out on YouTube. If I find more profitable bets on PrizePicks, I'll give out more profitable bets on PrizePicks, but just trying to show you where I'm finding value, where I'm finding an edge, in the plays that I'm putting my own personal money on, right? So Parlay Play, right, we're going to kind of explain very briefly how this platform works, but long story short, I signed up a few months ago. They only have a maximum bet size of $60. This platform's available in basically every U.S. state, not every single state. Books, have different regulations, or each state has different regulations, and there's licensing fees, whatever. So it's not in every single state. Every state has different sports books, but it's available in California where I am currently. So you're going to see they only have a max bet size of $60, but I've already been able to run up 1.7K in profit, 1750 in profit on the sportsbook, right? There's a lot of profitable betting opportunities, so I definitely recommend signing up, right? Sometimes I find value on Underdog, sometimes it's a different sportsbook like Parlay Play where I'm finding profitable bets and placing profitable bets, right? But that's really why, as a sharp bettor, you want to have as many sportsbooks as possible. You never know which book is going to be slipping up and offering value on a given day. So like today, it was, Parlay Play that has the big line discrepancy. They had Martin's line at 5, PrizePicks and Underdog have his line at 4.5, right? Big discrepancy, a profitable bet we're able to take advantage of, but you're only able to take advantage of it if you have this platform, Parlay Play. But long story short, I try to keep these videos educational as well, kind of explain how these platforms work. So basically on Parlay Play, it's a pretty simple platform. Any 6 picks you select, this is the payout you're getting. Right? So if you go 6 for 6, you get a 25x payout. 5 for 6, 2.5x. 4 for 6, 0.5x payout. Doesn't matter if we switch this to an over, we're still getting the same payout, right? So long story short, this is what I call a fixed payout platform. So any, 6 picks you select, so you can see if I switch this to a baseball pick, we're still getting the exact same payout. Doesn't matter if you take overs or unders. So the way that this platform makes money is they assume, right? And it's the same thing for Underdog Fantasy. Most of these platforms work in the same way, is they assume you're only going to win your player prop over-unders, these over-unders, correctly 50% of the time, right? Like if you have no edge, no advantage, you're only going to be able to get these over-unders correctly 50% of the time. You're going to be right 50% of the time, wrong 50% of the time. Right? Picking over versus under, if you have no advantage, is like flipping a coin, heads versus tails. You're going to win 50% of your plays. But long story short, on this platform, you have to win roughly 53.2% of your picks to be profitable. So if you're selecting player props that are winning 50% of the time, you have no advantage, you're going to lose a lot of money. You're looking for player props, right? You need to win your over-unders, let's say 55% of the time, only losing 45% of your picks, and that's how you make money. So it all just boils down to this win rate, which is different, than a traditional sports book. So you look at traditional sports books, they have odds, right? Like on Pinnacle, you can bet, which is known to be the sharpest bookmaker in the world, you can bet the Heat at minus 111. On this Parlay Play platform, it works differently. Any 6 picks you select, you get the exact same payout. And to be profitable on this platform, you have to win 53.2% of your player props. There's no odds. There's nothing like that, right? There's no numbers on Parlay Play. Any 6 picks you select, you're always getting the same payout. And the way they beat you is they assume you're only going to win your player props 50% of the time, but you have to win your player props 53.2% of the time, only losing 6.8% of your picks. So one tool that I use pretty frequently to find profitable bets on Parlay Play is the Fantasy Optimizer. So you just go to Fantasy and then Fantasy Optimizer, and you're going to notice there are profitable bets on Underdog Fantasy, any of these platforms that are like Parlay Play, fixed payout platforms where they're not changing your payout based on the 6 picks you select. They don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. This Fantasy Optimizer, it works for, all those platforms. So PrizePicks, Underdog, No House Advantage, Parlay Play, Jock Market. And again, I strongly encourage you to sign up for as many of these sportsbooks as possible. Like I initially signed up for Parlay Play to get the free $105 or $100, whatever it is that they give out. They have a deposit offer. You deposit $100, they give you $100 for free. Easy money, right? Sign up for these books at the very least to take advantage of their deposit offer. All these books are in ruthless competition with each other. Underdog Fantasy competing with PrizePicks, competing with No House Advantage, yada, yada, yada. So honestly, you can literally just sign up for these sports books, take the deposit bonus money, never place a bet on this platform again. But I've been able to find a lot of profitable bets using the Fantasy Optimizer on Parlay Play, so I've continued to bet on it. So we're looking for player props, right? Winning above 53.2% of the time. So what OddsJam does is obviously OddsJam is, there's no BS, there's nothing but data. Everything is just based in sportsbook odds. Every pick that I ever give out is just finding plays with an edge and making money, right? Nothing complicated going on. No voodoo magic. I'm just following the data. So what you're going to see here is Riley Smith in the Golden Knights game over 2 shots on goal has a win rate of 53.42%, and this is all based on sportsbook odds, right? So you're going to see most books actually have his line higher at 2.5 shots on goal, right? BetMGM, FanDuel, they're all around plus 115 on the over 2.5, and we're able to get over 2 on parlay play. So this is a player prop that's winning 53.42% of the time. That's above 53.2% of the time. So it's profitable in a parlay play entry. So long story short, I don't want this video to be an hour long. So my 6 picks are Derek White over 16 PRAs, Butler over 40.5 PRAs. And I think, I got rid of PrizePicks, but most of the sports books, this play was also from that sportsbook screen, the first tool we looked at. All the other books had his line at 41.5 or 42.5. So 40.5 was way too low. We want to take the over. Riley Smith over 2 shots on goal. Again, this play is just directly from the fantasy optimizer right here. And you can use this again for PrizePicks, Underdog, all those different platforms. Smart under 13 points, Martin under 5 rebounds, and Strus under 12 points. So 6 picks to get that 25x payout if we win every play. They have a maximum bet size of $60, so a 25x payout is $1,500. So this is what I'm rolling with. Early plays for Tuesday, May 23rd. Hopefully this video was helpful. Let's get after it. Let's make some money.